Have you ever met someone who made you feel like you were the most special person in the world? They praised you, listened to you, supported you, almost too perfectly. But then, something shifted. They grew distant. You began to feel guilty, unsure, confused. You started questioning yourself, not knowing why. This might not be love. It might be manipulation from someone with narcissistic traits. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychological thinkers of the 20th century, warned us in a single line, "The shadow you do not face will appear in your life as fate." Let's talk about the type of person who wears a charming mask, and why you must learn to see through it. Narcissism isn't self-love, it's self-denial. Contrary to popular belief, narcissists don't actually love themselves. They love a version of themselves, a mask they desperately want others to see. Carl Jung called this mask the persona, the social identity we present to the world. We all have one. But for narcissists, the persona becomes everything. There's no authentic self behind it. Why? Because behind that mask is a wounded inner world, a repressed shadow full of insecurity, pain, and fear of being exposed. And to keep that shadow hidden, they constantly seek admiration. They don't want connection. They want validation. And you're the mirror they use to maintain the illusion. Why narcissists are dangerous. Narcissists rarely hurt you in obvious ways. They manipulate with subtlety. First, they make you feel seen and valued. It feels like you've found someone who truly understands you. But once you're hooked, the praise becomes sparse. They start withdrawing affection, punishing you with silence, or criticizing you in ways that make you question yourself. That's not love, that's control. Jung said, "What you do not bring to consciousness will rule your life." Narcissists avoid facing their own darkness, so they project it outward, onto you, and before you know it, you're carrying emotional baggage that was never yours. How to spot a narcissist without overthinking. Narcissists aren't always loud, flashy, or selfie-obsessed. They can be quiet, modest-looking, even sensitive. But here are a few signs. They can't handle criticism, no matter how gentle. They rarely apologize sincerely. You constantly feel the need to prove yourself. You often feel like you're in the wrong, though you're not sure why. The danger? They don't destroy you suddenly. They wear you down until you can't tell if your thoughts are your own. Losing yourself in the narcissist's world. Narcissists often create the illusion of intimacy, of we're so connected. But it's not real connection. It's fusion. They want you to dissolve into them. You start adjusting your words to match what they want to hear. You suppress your emotions to keep the peace. You trade your authenticity for their approval. And slowly, you forget who you are. Jung taught, no one becomes enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. In relationships with narcissists, your healing begins not when you fix them, but when you recognize how much of yourself you've lost. How to break free. You can't save a narcissist unless they're willing to face themselves, but you can stop them from rewriting your reality. Here's how. Set firm boundaries. Don't explain. Don't argue. Just say no and mean it. Write down what's real. Journal your feelings to separate truth from manipulation. Stay calm. Narcissists gain power through your emotional reactions. Don't give them that power. Ask yourself, do I still feel like myself when I'm around this person? If not, it's time to reclaim your ground. Coming back to yourself. The world is full of beautiful faces, but very few people live without masks. Real strength isn't in being adored, it's in being real. Learn to recognize emotional masks, not to attack others, but to protect your own soul. As Carl Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And you can't become that person while being shaped by someone else's illusion.